ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. So first things first, just to kind of let you guys know what's going on and an update on what's going on in my world. So we're currently in the process of trying to get this shroomer video together. I currently have 13 out of the 20 shroomer knocks that I want to max out with work stuff and yada yada yada. So you guys can kind of tell where we're going with that as far as the next video to come up with that. We've also created a regular shroomer for base, and then we've also got 2 combat shroomers with the shroomer knock and the regular shroomer. Now with most of these, with these in particular ones, I probably would have just dropped out the Lord of and or Spirit of for Serenity on both of these, but this is what I had to where I could throw together as quickly as possible. So we will be working with that. So kind of an old school build, but still very good. And you'll be surprised when that video comes out. Also, we have taken our one of our oil bases that was down here and converted it into an oil and sushi farm. As you can see here, we now have 4 going instead of the 3 that were going. We have Bella Noir Libero as our protector over here because stuff can get a little wild. But we did make a secondary platform with 8 breeding pens with all Doomuds up here to then kind of enact the making of Doomud chowder. With that being said, the good thing is that with Doomud chowder, those of you who don't know this, I have done a video on all the foods prior, so if you guys want to see that, I'll leave that at the end of the video for you guys to watch. But specifically, Doomud gives you a 50% increase to work speed and gives a hunger buff. So it's kind of a no-brainer to kind of switch to, plus the ingredients that require to make it is literally just raw Doomud compared to what you're making off of your salad, where salad is 2 lettuce, 2 tomato, Doomud chowder is 2 lettuce, 2 tomato, and 1 raw Doomud. So butchering these guys for that meat is definitely a viable thing, and you can crank up all your work speed pals up by tenfold by putting another 50% increase onto them. So just a little update on what's going on. Now today, since I went ahead and got it a little earlier than the rest of the stuff done, we are talking about Grintail. With Holy Bolt specifically, it hits like a truck. Very hard hitting attack, and it is well worth to put it on your neutral pals that are running. Grintail specifically is who I went with because of the partner skill of enhancing neutral attacks while mounted. For our passives, we went with Musclehead, Celestial Emperor, Legend, and Serenity. With Serenity, it's just enough for the cooldown rate to be able to spam this pretty quickly. And while you're mounted, you're getting even more damage off of it. So kind of mixing some of the new school with the old school, we did have to breed Holy Burst onto the Grintail, which took for me a Celine that I had, which was probably this one that had Holy Burst on it. And then we bred that with a U-Volt that we had that was a blank. And through multiple breedings, we ended up getting the stuff that we wanted on there. Pretty good deal. We had tested them live on stream yesterday, and I'm telling you what, it was pretty interesting. As this one stands, it is at a 96 for the health, a 80 for the defense, and a 100 for the attack. Now, the attack originally was around 30, but I went ahead and ground out some dog coin and got up enough of the attack IV fruits and put that into him to get him up to 100 for that. Realistically, I could probably do full 100 on him and then breed him into stuff by going back out there and getting another like 1,500 dog coin. So not really that bad of a grind if you're able to switch up the settings as we had discussed before. Take you probably about like 30 minutes at max. I wouldn't see it taking even that long, to be honest. And another thing that I want to mention is the big kitty that I guess when I was originally doing the dog coin video, something was going on maybe with the spawn rate when I would come back in there and there would just be not much of anything spawning. And whenever I went back to base and then came back, it would do that. So usually whenever I just start up my world for the day, I'll do a quick spawn over to an area, then spawn at another place, and then that usually kicks it out. So you can use Catrus as well, but this does increase the amount dropped from the mimics. The most that I've seen from a 3 pile was about 278, I believe it was the highest that I've gotten from one 3 pile of them. So pretty good. We will be just using Holy Burst as to spam it because that's literally all we need. Now, given how strong this is and how often you can use this, I don't think that this was intentional by any means. It is absurd of how strong this is. And I assume I assume that it will be nerfed at some point, so don't get your hopes up if you don't really want to go through the process of getting this onto something. But who knows how long that's going to be. I decided to showcase this because I was doing Grintails before the update for part of my Is It Worth It series with the enhanced pals. And thank you, Bob, for mentioning this because I didn't think about it at the time. He was like, yeah, you should put Holy Burst on a Grintail. And I was like, that is brilliant. So I went ahead and went back and continued to breed and then rebreed to get what we got now, which is very fun. We will be stacking some rib bunnies behind them. We'll do 3 at first as we go after some of the overworld bosses, and then we'll do a 4 stack for when we go against some of our tower bosses. With the food buff that he is running right now, with the 3 stack, he is at 2,175. So the attack power really isn't that strong. He has a decent health pool, but his defense is really low too, so we might have to switch out the attack power food for a rush ore just to keep it with the defensive side. But to be honest, when we were testing yesterday, he puts him down quick enough to where it's really unnecessary. So we will reinitialize that burger as well just to keep that going. And first up on the chopping block, I guess we'll go after Frostallion. All right. Well, that's a new one. Never seen that. See, already 2 attacks and we've knocked him down to half health. That's absurd. The 4 attacks. That's all it took. 4 attacks. Kill Frostallion in 4 attacks. That is absurd. Yeah, like I said, this is definitely not intentional. That is wild of how hard that hits. So on to the next one. I guess we'll go against Pouties and Necromis. We did switch out for a Rush Ore Hot Dog just to give him from 800 to 1,000. So hopefully the survivability will be a little bit better because we are going against 2 pals this time. So start off with Holy Burst and then we'll attack with Holy Burst. He has barely enough movement speed to actually avoid getting hit. Unfortunately, he is really low health. I'm guessing that the Holy Burst didn't quite hit Necromis when I hit him with it, so I'm gonna get him up for a second here. Got him out of the way. We will give a little assistance here because those didn't hit correctly, in my opinion. Because he's still in his cooldown. Well, he ended up getting killed out on that one. That was unfortunate. I think we probably should have went with the burger instead of the rush ore, because the other day we did that and he survived barely, but he did survive it, and I didn't have to help at all. I just had to do holy bolt a bunch of times. Holy burst. I keep on wanting to call it holy bolt. Thank you, Lulu, for taking the injured. As a preventative measure, we're going to actually rock 2 defensive and 2 health pendants, just to give us a lot more health and defense. And we are going to eat a rush ore hot dog as well, and reinitialize the food on Grintail, and we're going to go after Shadowbeak. We did add an extra red bunny as well, so now we're sitting at 2,373 attack power. As you can see here, we've already dropped Shadowbeak to half health. And he's basically dead. And there he goes. Victor and Shadowbeak in just over a minute, at 1 minute and a second. That's pretty ridiculous. We'll make this short and sweet. Is Grintail worth it? I'm going to say, for the time being, yes. This is a very fun thing to do. Breeding in the Holy Burst is not too big of a deal. I guess getting the IVs up and getting like the exact stuff that you need. Like I said, we had put Celestial Emperor on here as well as an increased 2 neutral attacks. And the way that we did that was just breeding down from Paldius. But yeah, the enhancement to neutral attacks is pretty insane. And the fact that I can just continuously do Holy Burst because it's only a 30-second CT, and with Serenity being a 30% decrease to that, it's very quick to just hammer out a bunch of times. But if they ever patch the damage that Holy Burst does, which I can assume they will, because there's no way that they're going to leave this being that hard hitting. Then again, I could be wrong. They might not touch it. That'd be very nice if they didn't. That way some of the neutral pals actually have a chance when it comes to overall damage, because that Holy Burst is pretty nutty. So yes, if you guys enjoyed my video here, drop a like. If you guys enjoyed my content, drop a sub. And write down in the comments below what you think of Grintail, and if you think that Holy Burst is going to get nerfed. We got some big things coming up for the channel, and we're underway. We do stream every day if you guys want to come over there at Popey and the Pope at twitch.tv. Link will be in the description. Other than that, keep you willy washed, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.